today we're taking a look at the 2016 Nissan Leaf SL. Let's go ahead and go take a look. Now when it comes to the 2016 Nissan Leaf SL with the premium package, there are key things that you're going to notice on the outside of the car. Now, comparing it to the Nissan Leaf SV, you do get the same 17-inch alloy wheels. So again, these are alloy wheels, so they're made to be a little bit lighter weight, so they're more lightweight than the base model S, which offers steel wheels, so again improving efficiency, along with the low rolling resistance tires. So again, not only does it make it look a little bit more attractive, you do get a more efficient vehicle. Again, with the premium package, you do get side view camera, so a round view monitor. So you have one in the, two in the side mirrors, one in the front, and then one in the back. So it's going to be a round view monitor, give you all of you around the vehicle. Coming around to the back, if you're comparing it to the 2015, design is pretty much the same. Design hasn't changed too much. Now, what has changed in 2016 SV and SL is that you do get a bigger battery. So we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But just to give you a quick walk around view of the vehicle, as you can see, the design hasn't changed too much. Now, one key thing specific to the SL is that here at the top, we do have a little small solar panel. Now, that does not recharge the key battery itself. What it does is more for the accessories battery. So it's something nice to have. It's going to overall cause less strain on the battery itself to power some of the other features. So again, it's something more to the efficiency side. Now, because this is a hatchback, as you can see, we do have a little bit more space in just a trunk. So it's able to extend a lot more. You can see that the battery itself does not intrude into any of the space here in the back. What you do get with the SL is what you see there, Bose. That's an energy efficient Bose. So it draws less energy, so you can again save a little bit more on power, which is going to get you better range. Nissan does include, of course, a charger, so you can connect it to your house. So that's going to plug into a regular outlet. It is a little bit slower, but you do have it. And then, of course, Nissan also is going to include a roadside assistance kit. So in case of an emergency, you have a first aid kit right there. Now with the Nissan Leaf, which you're taking a look at over here, you do have a nice strip of LEDs. So again, it's all about efficiency with the Nissan Leaf. So it's all about using less electricity with any little thing that we can do. So improving aerodynamics. So this is one of the most aerodynamic Leafs so far. So everything from the headlights to the side panels to the roof itself is designed to be aerodynamic and really efficient. Now again, have another camera right underneath there. Coming around to the front, specific to the premium package and specific to the SL model, you have LED low beam headlights. Again, like I'm saying, this is including more to the efficiency side of the Nissan Leaf. So anything that they can do, anything that we've done so far is to increase efficiency. Here in the Nissan Leaf SL in the back, the bottom, what you're going to look at is you have fog lights only on the SL model, so not on the SV or the S. So now one thing that the SV and the SL do include is, of course, the quick charger. So I'm going to pop that open right now. I'm going to pop open the hood and we're going to take a look at what's underneath the hood of the Nissan Leaf SL. Now when it comes here in the front of the Nissan Leaf SL, what you're noticing here is you have two ports. So what Nissan includes is, of course, this universal charger. So any charging station is going to have this charger to be able to plug into your Nissan Leaf. So it's an upgraded charger, so it will charge your Nissan Leaf a little bit faster than normal, but you can also plug it into your house outlet. Now here on the side, what Nissan also includes, available on the S and standard on the S and SL, SV and SL, what you do have is that quick charge from Nissan. So the quick charge is going to be able to charge your battery completely or to 80% in only 30 minutes. So again, improving efficiency with the Nissan Leaf, so you spend less time charging, more time driving the Nissan Leaf. So again, that's some of the technology that Nissan does bring to the car itself. One small thing that we also are going to include, something Nissan thought about, is here you have a little light. So at night times, if you're someplace dark, you can't see very well, it's something, a little small touch, but something that makes a big difference to people that really need it. So it includes a light to make sure that you're able to find the appropriate charging station a lot easier. Now here it is, the biggest changes to the 2016 SV and SL model when it comes to the Nissan Leaf. What you do see here now, it's not the same battery system and engine anymore. So now this engine now comes coupled with a 30 kilowatt hour battery. So it's upgraded from the 24 kilowatt hour. Now what that means in terms of usage is that now the Nissan Leaf is rated at 107 miles. So that means out of a charge you can go 107 miles without having to worry about anything. That's one cool thing with the Nissan Leaf, which is going to be extended if you put it in eco mode. Now if you want to give it a, like more of a comparison to what that means, is that the last year's model, 24 kilowatt hour, it gave you about 80 to 85 miles range. Now, you know, that's 20 miles extra that you do get with the Nissan Leaf. So aside from improving efficiency, again, it's more what the Nissan Leaf offers. It's just range. So it's actually best in class range. So no other electric vehicle comes close to this. Just gonna take a quick look at the engine just so you see what Nissan has to offer underneath here. Now, some key differences, of course, we are going to see on the inside. Now, what you're taking a look at here, the Nissan SL Leaf is going to offer leather here on the side. So it's going to be upgraded interior from the base model and the SV. Do have nice soft touch leather here on the sides. And of course, one of the main big differences, of course, is the seats. These are, of course, leather seats. So that's really what differentiates it from the SV, is of course that you do get leather seats, as well as heated seats for both the front and the rear. So as you can see, that little switch there at the bottom right is for the rear seats. And then here in the front, when we're taking a look at that, we have we also have heated seats for both the front and the front passenger. Now again, the leather seats are some of the most comfortable seats there really is in this class. Now let's go ahead and turn it on, see what the Nissan Leaf has to offer. Of course, here on the interior, one nice feature that you do get is now auto headlights. So that's something that's not available on some of the other models. Now let's go ahead and start it up and see what changed. Now, as you can see, this dashboard is really more towards technology forward. It's a digital dashboard. Nothing here is gonna be analog. So again, Nissan kind of showing what the future is headed to. So you have your speedometer here in the front, so it's going to show you how many miles per hour you're driving, the temperature outside, the time at the moment. Here at the bottom left, what you do get is rain. Of course, we don't have anything right now because we're not driving very fuel efficient, but it actually starts growing the tree. So it's going to let you know if you're driving a little bit more fuel efficient, less fuel efficient. Of course, if you're driving more fuel efficient, well, energy efficient, I should say, not fuel efficient, you're going to get it's going to start forming a tree there. Now, here at the sides, what you do see is you have your heated steering wheel, so you actually can heat the steering wheel, which is a little bit more of a touch of luxury, not too key feature, but nice to have here. You do have like an auto lock feature, so if you're charging, somebody cannot just unplug your charging station, so you can put it to auto. Once you're full, it'll let you unplug, or just keep it on lock and it won't let anyone plug. That is so you can open up the plug itself. Now, controlling that dashboard here in the middle, it's a couple buttons here on the side that are really more towards that. So pressing the button is going to alter what the screen there is going to show you. So it's going to show you some pretty useful information. It's going to show you how long it takes to charge, depending on what charging method you're going to use. You have the temperature here on the side, and then here is the range here at the side. So Nissan makes it pretty obvious how far you can go. So it's going to give you 47 miles on a charge, about halfway, which is what we're at right now. But if you turn off some information, like some things on the system, like the AC is going to bump you 3 miles, about 11 miles, or put in an eco, and that'll help you out a little bit more. So you can really do stuff to improve the efficiency of the car. So potentially you can get more than 107, which is rated at. So a little bit below halfway, we're seeing that you get 60. Now, if you again drive a little bit more efficient and use less things with the engine, so if you don't actually have to have the AC running all the time, you could get way more than 107 miles out of this car. But you know, if you want to drive it a little bit not as efficient, of course, you can see the hit it takes there. Now, here, this cool thing that it has off the top is actually pretty useful. So it's going to show you when you're driving more fuel efficient, less fuel efficient. So it's going to show you when the battery is recharging and when you're draining the battery. So when you're braking or just coasting itself, the battery is going to start recharging. So, you know, pretty nice features to have there. Again, of course, the Nissan Leaf is a push to start button. So if you have the Nissan Intelligent key, this one here, all you have to do is just press the brake, press the button, and the vehicle is going to turn on. This is a leather wrapped steering wheel, exclusive to the SL. A couple nice buttons to have. Of course, you have the audio system control, so you can actually control the radio. So you can put the volume up, volume down, answer the phone call if someone is calling you, and the phone call as well. And change a couple presets here, change the source, so you can control a lot of what happens here in the entertainment system from the steering wheel itself. So it's going to be more convenient overall. You have your eco button, which if you press it, again, I was going to explain how it increases the range. Now, one of the biggest changes to the SL model in the 2016 model year is what you're seeing right now. So this is Nissan Connect with navigation. So it's a complete new system available only now in the Nissan Leaf. It made its way here on the Nissan Maxima, first debuted, and then on the Murano. It's now coming to the Nissan Rogue and the Nissan Altima. But we're taking an exclusive first look at how it looks like now on the 2016 Nissan Leaf SL and SV with premium package. Now, again, it's a whole new system. It works a lot like a smartphone, so you can swipe things to the left, to the right. You can pin certain apps to the screen, your home screen itself. So if you need to access something really quickly, pin it to the home screen and you're good to go. Now, as you can see, that the touch is really smooth. It works almost like a smartphone. You can control it with the arrows too if you like. It's a internet connected system, so it connects to the internet via your phone. So you can view important information, like if you want to use Nissan Connect apps. Nissan is always adding a suite of apps that are going to be available to work with the Nissan Leaf. A few apps that have changed is the Easy app from Nissan, which is going to give you information as far as where charging stations are around you, where to charge, stuff like that. But as well as other more apps that people use, like social networking apps like Facebook. You do have Twitter, Pandora. So along with those suite of apps, Nissan again is also going to add more apps in the future. Now, moving along here, so again, this works with like a touchscreen. So you can control it here by pressing the back button, control it from the steering wheel. Again, it's so smooth how it moves. To use a couple apps, of course, you do need to connect your phone. So if you want to use like the text messaging app or Nissan Connect apps, you have to actually connect your phone. And then other apps are going to use your internet connection. So without connecting it to the phone, you can't get along too far. Now, an app that is deleted now from Nissan is the previous companion app that Nissan used to use with the Nissan Leaf, because now Nissan actually relies on Nissan Connect services, which gives you access to SOS features, access to, of course, the phone, see how everything's running. Now, moving along to the audio system, so as you can see, it's very reminiscent of what you see on the Nissan Murano and Nissan Maxima. So it works by touch or by controlling it through the steering wheel. You can adjust the radio stations here. One key thing that is new with the Nissan Leaf SL is that you now have HD radio. So it's going to give you that nice sound, a little bit more clear, and it's going to couple nice with the Bose audio system. So moving on to the phone, again, we have to connect the phone before we can use these features, but you have quick dial, text messaging, phone book, stuff like that. So again, you can give the car voice commands and it's going to help you use this whole system a lot easier. You have info sections, which is going to give you basic information as well as information with the vehicle. So it's going to give you energy efficient sort of things, but you can also access that through the energy efficiency button here with the Nissan Leaf. So you can go to energy info, you can press that. So one cool thing with the energy button is that by pressing it, you can see your driving range. So if you're wondering if you can get to a specific area, anything in the white is something you can go without a problem. So based on the charge at the moment, you can kind of be able to get there a whole lot easier. You don't have to worry about having enough charge. Now, what we see in the silver-ish gray, that is something that you might be able to reach, but of course, some things change as you're driving, so not so likely, but you can, on a good charge, you can get there. And then what's grayed out is something, it's out of reach, something that Nissan says you must charge before getting there, so you don't have to risk anything. But as you can see, charging stations, especially in the LA area, they're pretty much everywhere. As you can see, they're actually pretty abundant, sometimes even more so than gas stations. So if you ever need a charge, you can pretty much find it without a problem. Now, again, moving on back to the home screen, so away from this, we're gonna go back to the home screen. So anytime you're in an app or doing anything, you can always press the home screen. It'll take you right back to square one. So it's gonna give you basic information, the radio, stuff like that. You go into the map without a problem. So everything loads fast, and of course, like I was mentioning, it's a touchscreen, so it works like a phone. You can pinch to zoom, pinch out to zoom, stuff like that. You can rotate the screen, find where you need to go. You have your navigation button, which again helps you get to your destination a whole lot easier. And then a couple settings you can tweak. But overall, it's a really an easy system to use without a problem. That's one thing that Nissan has done with the new Connect by Nissan. So it's a system that you're gonna if you're familiar how to use a smartphone, you're gonna be able to use the system without a problem. You have your status. You're gonna check out basic information with the car, the AC levels, stuff like that. You can go to the menu button, which is going to be home here. So anytime you're in an app or something that you can't find the back button, or you're lost anywhere, if you can't find the home button here, press the menu button there, and it's always going to take you home. And of course, you can turn it off if you don't really need it. You'll still have this here, but you can turn off the audio system itself. You can tilt it to open up the SD card, which is going to be there to enter a DVD. So if you want to play a movie, or the DVD system itself, or a CD, you can actually insert that there. You can also tilt it if you decide to. So once we close it, if you press and hold on the button, you can tilt it to an angle. So if glare is an issue with you, so the sun is hitting you or you can't see it too well, you can tilt it and then put it back to normal. Again, the camera is going to be pretty cool. So as you're turning the steering wheel, you can see front, back. And then if you put it into reverse, you can also see the rear as you're driving. So one of the systems we're going to be taking a look at right now is the around view monitor with the Nissan Leaf. So we're going to put it into drive and start driving. At low speeds, you can press the camera button and the front camera will turn on. At higher speeds, it's actually going to turn off. But the cool thing with the trajectory, or just parking in general, is going to show you how close you can get to a vehicle without actually hitting it. The trajectory is going to show me where I'm turning right, turning left, stuff like that. So it's going to be able to get me out of a tight spot easily. And we're going to start backing up and seeing how the backup camera and around view monitor help me to really get into a position easily without getting into any of the problems. Now, again, going into drive, you can see the camera will maintain on, but if I start going at a higher speed, it'll actually turn off. So if you're maneuvering, getting into tight, slow spaces like I am now, the around view monitor makes a big difference. So it's going to avoid any collisions that you're going to have. Now I'm going to start going a little bit faster in a bit, just so you can see when the camera actually turns off. So at about closer to 10 miles or anything over 5 miles, it'll turn off. But once I go back to 5 miles, I press a button, it'll actually turn right back on. So, it's those little touches of attention that Nissan puts is going to make a big difference overall with the vehicle. So again, driving at a lower speed in a parking lot, so you can really see where you're heading to. If you have any issues with parking, it's going to make everything a whole lot easier. Now here in the back, Nissan actually does not forget about its customers. So you still have nice leather here on the side, so leather armrests. As you can see, it's actually really spacious here in the back. So Nissan has made a lot of effort to improving space here. So as you can see, I'm about 6 feet with the driving side, about a driving position about what I drive, and I still have plenty of space here, plenty of headroom. So because it's a hatchback, you do have a higher roof, and it's going to be really comfortable. Now, key thing I was talking about earlier, the rear passenger heated seats. Of course, it's adjustable to the right there, so you can put it high, you can put it low, and of course, overall space here in the rear of the Nissan Leaf is going to be really spacious. So this has been your quick look at the 2016 Nissan Leaf SL with the premium package.